Hello, friends. Welcome to Nomads No Worries. I'm your host, Steve,
And this is Jack.
and we have an amazing show for you today. We are going to be going through the funniest city names in the world. There are some really ridiculous ones that I didn't know existed, so we're going to have a lot of fun talking through those. But first, I want to play something for you guys. My mom left me a voicemail the other day talking about our podcast and maybe some of the language that we use. So I've decided I'm going to share this with you all today. So I'm going to play it for you right now so our audience can hear what my mom thinks about the podcast.
Amazing. I'm so excited to get her opinion. I love 6 kids.
Hi, it's me, and I just wanted to let you know I was at the soccer game with Elaine yesterday at Gwen's soccer game, and she said, boy, Steve needs to have something written or a podcast about all his travels because some of us are very interested in it. You know, she wanted to know where you were and all of that, and she just finds it fascinating. But I felt like I didn't want to tell her about the podcast because it seems like you guys are gearing towards young people, but you guys get a little bit, I mean, I'm your mom. I could care less, about language and that kind of thing, but I don't know. It seems a little bit risque on some of it, it's more for the younger crowd. I mean, I would have told her in a heartbeat about it. And I know she would have immediately followed you and listened because that is what she's yearning for. She wants to hear all about your life and your travels.
Okay, so that was my mother and her opinion on the podcast. I'm getting some of her thoughts. Jack, what's your instant reaction to my mom's voicemail?
It's like that phrase, a podcast only a mother could love.
She loves it so much that she won't even share it with her friends. She doesn't want them to hear it.
You guys are doing such a great job. To be honest, I can't share it yet. Baby steps.
I will say, so I did call my mom back after that. We had a nice conversation about it. One thing, I actually cut this out of her voicemail. It was even longer than the one I shared. But she took it from like the financial approach. She was like, if you guys catered to a larger audience or more to the masses, you could have more followers. Older people have more money, like you guys could, from the financial side of things, that could be beneficial. But, I also explained, like, we have a niche. We also like to be ourselves. We also cater to the digital nomad audience, which tends to be younger, not in all cases, but yeah, from a marketing standpoint, like, I don't know. I think we're doing fine. Plus, I don't really want to change the way that we are.
Yeah, I mean, we are who we are. We are immature, and I think that shines through. And maybe as the podcast goes on, our content will evolve, and the boomers might be a little more into it.
Yeah, but my mom totally understands. We talked it over. She's like, I watch a lot of game shows. And to be honest, she's like, they're really dirty too. Like, she watches a lot of Family Feud.
Dude, what?
Yeah, and she's like, Steve Harvey makes so many dirty jokes on there. There's so many innuendos. Like, she's like, and that's a really successful show. It's one of my favorite shows. She's like, actually, there was a clean game show that I watched and it got canceled. Like, it was more family friendly. But it got so that's like the reverse of cancel culture, right? Like, you're not dirty enough that no one's interested.
It's really like a game about how close can you get to the cancel line, right?
Yes. You got to get as close as possible without going over the cancel line.
Right. And there's many examples of people, crossing the line, getting canceled. But, it's a fickle thing, I think. And it really varies. But Steve, it's super interesting. Like, my parents love Family Feud too. Like, my dad wants us to sign up. But like, my family, we only have 4 in our meet, and Family Feud's a 5-person game, so like, I feel like it'd be good for your family. We need to like kind of recruit one person in, and my dad's like trying to figure out which family member or
you're looking at him, dude. I mean, we're fam. It's podcast fam.
I'm down. I mean, Family Feud is a great game. I think it's so addicting to watch. Like, my parents love the shit out of that.
Yeah, same, dude. Apparently, we got to be more like Family Feud, and maybe we'll be more popular with the older audience.
Maybe we should do a Family Feud style episode with traveling.
That's
Like,
a great
name the most
idea.
popular honeymoon spot, you know, and you get like points and we take polls or something. Like, that could be good.
Yeah, we'll workshop that offline, but I like where we're
Yeah,
going with
okay.
this.
Yeah, right. We're live right now.
But yeah, so I talked it over with my mom. She's totally cool. She's like, I love your podcast. It's all good. And I think we ended the call. She's like, maybe I will tell my friends about it, but just kind of let them know ahead of time that, hey, they're speaking to a younger audience. Their language is a little bit younger, just so they know.
That is kind of funny because I do feel like we're actually pretty tame on the pod. Like, not gonna lie, like we have conversations before the pod, like, all right, we're not gonna say this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we're
in
trying
real
to be
life,
conscientious.
In real life, we're so much worse.
Like, we're really taking it easy. Like, we're not even close to the line.
But to my mom's point, I was reviewing some of our recent episodes and some of the words that we said. So I made a little list.
Okay.
Both of us have said the word boner, like, separately for separate reasons. Like, we were talking about the nude beach, and you were like, I don't want to get a boner on the nude beach.
Oh, okay. Relatable.
I think on one of the last episodes, you said shit within the first 30 seconds of the episode. So start off strong.
Okay.
I said hand job and rim job. That was a good one.
Nice.
We also had an entire conversation about strap-ons and pegging. We also had a conversation about anal, which I did cut out. That was more to get our guest comfortable before we started recording.
Just like what you need to do with anal anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But that one didn't make the pod, so that was good. We also talked about, Marilyn Manson getting that surgery to suck his own dick, and we had a whole conversation about sucking your own dick.
Yeah. And what about our very first episode, Steve? We're shitting in a bucket?
Yeah, shitting and pissing in buckets, the urinary contraption, or what, female urinary contraption. Yeah, that was a good one. And then not to mention the classics, just like fuck, we'll throw around.
That is a classic one, to be honest.
Now, to be honest, things are not going to get any better on this episode.
Well, you just listed everyone.
It's about to maybe even get worse than ever, because we are going to get into the funniest city names in the world, and some of these are inappropriate words. I'm not going to lie. Now, Jack, you and I have both curated a list of city names. Now, our only rule for this was no cities in the UK, because they have so many ridiculous city names. I feel like it deserves its own episode. So maybe in the future, we'll talk through the funniest city names in the UK.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's pretty cool. They're the best at something, naming their cities.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we have a spinny wheel thing, and it's got all of our city names on there. So we're going to spin the wheel and see what comes up, and then we can discuss it from there.
Okay, perfect.
All right, here we go. All right, we have Sandwich, Massachusetts. This was one of the ones that I selected. Good old American city,
Hell yeah.
So my fun fact for this one is it's actually one of the oldest towns in the U.S. So it was founded in 1637, which actually predates the actual food sandwich by over 100 years.
What?
Sandwiches didn't even exist when this town was founded.
So why is it called Sandwich then? Is it like between like two hills or something? Like,
it is named for the seaport of Sandwich, which is in England, of course. See, that's why England, needs its own episode, which literally means sand village or sandy place or place of the sand.
Like the witch, they use that a lot. Like the witch suffix. Like
Greenwich or Greenwich. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, Greenwich, it looks like it's Greenwich, but it's pronounced Greenwich. There's a Greenwich in New York.
Right.
Okay, so sand village, sandy place. So maybe there was actual sand on that seaport, but then they added the witch. Okay, that makes sense. That was a clean one, at least.
But Steve, like, this is wild to me because if Sandwich was a sandy town, why did they choose that word to mean sandwich the food? You know what I mean? Like if that was what it meant in the English language, the first sandwich must have been pretty terrible. Like maybe the bread was like kind of like sandy or something, you know? Like it was like bad bread.
Yeah. Wait, yeah. What the hell? I don't know, dude. We'll have to get into the history of the food sandwich, but we're not a food podcast. We only do travel stuff. So yeah, we can't speak to that at this moment.
But I do really want to say that sandwich might be one of my like top 3 favorite foods of all time. Like I love sandwiches.
Yeah, it could be anything. That's the beauty of it. You can make it however you want.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, is a hot dog a sandwich? That's a big internet debate. A hot
No,
dog.
I don't
No.
think so.
Okay.
Well, I think a hot dog can be a sandwich, but a sandwich can't be a hot dog. It's like a square and rectangle type of relationship.
Okay, yeah.
You
No,
know,
I like
like
that. Yeah.
a rectangle's not a square, but like a square is a rectangle. Like that's what I
Yeah.
think with the like the hot dog has a lot of, you know, it can be a sandwich, but I would never call a hot dog a sandwich. I don't know if that
Okay.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that definitely. Okay, that's fair. Let's get into our next city here. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. Horny police, Czech Republic. This is a really good one. Jack, this was your selection. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so I really like this one because, you know, Steve and I, we spent a good amount of time in Czech Republic. And so what this literally means in Czech is upper shelf. So police is the Czech word for shelf. And I guess horny is like a higher shelf in like a kitchen or something. But, you know, it's kind of devolved into like now tourists go to this town and try to get like horny police shirts and like, you know, little trinkets and stuff with the name on it. And it's become like kind of like a fun thing, right?
That is amazing. And in the modern world, like on the internet, people are the horny police. Like if someone is being too horny on Instagram, you know, like leaving comments on like models and influencers, you know, posts that are overly horny, like they'll just comment like, "You're so sexy, I have a boner. Hey, will you DM me?" Like, no, they're not going to DM you, bro. But yeah, and then people will be like, "Hey, bonk," you know, bonking people is a thing. Or you'll just be like, "Hey, horny police, you're being too horny on Instagram."
Yeah, and I think that's good because, again, kind of like cancel culture. If someone's getting a little too close to the line, let them know, you know? Maybe you need to go take care of something and come back to the internet.
Yeah. Come back after what they call post-nut clarity, which,
Right.
for my mom's friend's sake, I'm not going to get into the details of what post-nut clarity is, but you can figure it out.
Now, Steve, I think, you know, obviously we both love this country, right? And it reminds me of the shirt that you got when we were there, which said, "Check me out." And, you know, I think this is just similar vibes. Like, they just got they're just one of those countries that has just great naming. Just for whatever reason, they just got that down.
I mean, yeah, the fact that it's called the Czech Republic, like there's just so many puns that can come from that. Yeah, like the "check me out" shirt, was Czech was spelled, you know, like with the Z and everything. Like that was a great shirt. I had it for years. I think it eventually sort of unraveled. But yeah, shout out Czech Republic. We lived there for a while. We love that country. Just one of the gems of Europe.
And, you know, shout out to the horny police for keeping our internet clean. You know?
Yeah, dude. Back the blue. Support our boys. Support the troops. The horny police. They're doing a hard job.
Yeah. Horny police lives matter.
Yes. Thank you. That's what I was looking for when I said back the blue. I was like, what do they say? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Blue lives. Yeah, okay.
Blue balls live matter. Okay.
All right. Let's get into our next one here.
All right, ready?
Okay, we got fucking Australia. Now, Jack, you and I both... Austria. Thank you. Fucking Austria.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, we both selected this one on our list. So
Right.
I'll let you go first and talk about this one.
Okay, well, obviously the name fucking is a little bit unconventional, and they've had this name for a long time, and it's named after some important guy in their history.
So, yes, but the important thing to say here is it's not actually called fucking anymore. It used to be literally spelled like fucking, but they changed it to Fugging in 2021. So it's now Fugging Australia. But,
Austria.
God damn it. Austria. That reminds me of the postcard I bought when I was in Austria. And it's a big kangaroo, and there's like a line through it, like a red X. And it says no kangaroos in Austria. That was a good one.
Now, this town would be funnier if it was actually Australia, because then it's like an English speakers decided to name their city fucking, but this way they get a little bit of a pass with Austria,
Yeah. So they changed it, so pre-COVID it was fucking, but residents there were sick of tourists like stealing the signs and taking selfies, with the fucking. I'm sure it attracted a lot of attention. I mean, it's pretty funny, but hopefully if you got a picture, if you got a screenshot, a t-shirt or whatever, those live on forever.
And what's crazy is like, imagine you like live in this town, right? And like you're talking to your mom and you're like, okay, like I'm going back home to fucking, and like that's a problem in itself. But then the other problem is like Apple autocorrect is always going to change your name to ducking. You'll
So
never be
true.
able to like type your name, like the name of your city out, because all the autocorrect is changing it for you, so that's probably the fugging too, is like practical.
Yeah, dude, like stop autocorrecting. Literally, it's just where I live. Like, don't get mad at me, Apple.
Like I live in fucking, yeah.
Let's get another one going here. All right. Can you hear that, by the way?
Yeah, but it's
wheel.
It's all good.
All right. So I chose this one, Bangkok. I just feel like Bangkok has gotten so mainstream that people have forgotten how funny it is, right? Like we've become desensitized. Like it's literally bang cock. Like that's a slang word for like sex or like fucking, and then a slang word for penis, cock. Probably the most common slang word for both of those things, potentially. And you put them together, Bangkok. Like that is hilarious. And I feel like it's just so normal now that no one even thinks about it.
Yeah, it's basically uncancelable. This is the weird thing for me, though, is like, obviously we've talked about Bangkok so much. Growing up as a kid, I got my dick hit. Like, what's the capital of Thailand? And then you get nailed in the nuts with Bangkok. That ever happened to you, Steve? Or am I like...
that's a good... Yes, I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that sucked, honestly. But this is the thing, right? I want to know if women ever say, like, hey, did you like Bangkok last night? Like, do you think they ever have said that? Like, or do you think it's just like us, like, thinking it's funny?
I think our minds are a lot dirtier than most women's, I like to think, but maybe they do. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, like I wonder if they think it's really funny. Like they just don't bring it up, but it's like in their group chats. Hey, you didn't come home last night. Did you go to Bangkok? Like, I don't know.
Oh,
like,
yeah. That's good. Yes, that's good. Sorry, Mom. So, fun fact, Bangkok is actually just a nickname, although it's become basically the real name. The city's full ceremonial name is actually 168 characters long, and it's the longest city name in the world.
What?
Okay, so I've looked this up. I don't even want to say this full thing, but the real name of Bangkok is Krung Thep Maha Nakhon Aman Ratakasanim Mahitara Yadazara Maxikalak. Yeah, I'm not even going to finish it because I'm only like halfway through, but it's a super long name, so it makes sense. I love that they went with Bangkok, though.
Wait, so is there a reason why it's so long? Is it like a law firm where they have like 20 partners and they each get a name on the company thing, And it's kind of funny because it's kind of a party city. Like it's a pretty known party destination, and so for it to be called Bangkok is, it's like almost like fitting, It's not like
It
a city in
is.
Kansas, you know?
Yeah, it like fits. It works perfectly. Yeah, like the Hangover, one of the Hangover 2 or 3
Yeah.
was there. Like it's perfect. Perfect
Now, I
name.
wonder what came first, the partying or the name? Like, was everyone like, dude, we got to go to the city to party? Like, it's called Bangkok. And, like, then it
Yeah.
became a party city, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, hell.
Chicken and egg. Yeah.
Yeah. If horny police attracts horny people, then this probably attracts people who like to Bangkok, you know?
Wait, does the horny police city attract horny people or anti-horny people?
I don't know. Yeah, if you are horny and you go there, you'll get arrested. So you got to be careful. Right. All right, let's do our next one here.
Okay.
All right. We have Batman Turkey. This was one of my selections. Again, it's a cleaner one. You know, we can't just say like fucking every single time. So Batman. So my fun fact here is there was a lawsuit threat in 2008 from the mayor of Batman against Warner Brothers, claiming that they used the name without permission. It didn't go anywhere, but that's hilarious that they're like, hey, you guys copied my city name to make this stupid superhero. Like, we are the real Batman.
It's not Bruce Wayne, it's us.
Exactly. But yeah, Turkey's Batman existed long before the superhero. So
now, is it like actually pronounced Batman, or like do they have some way like Batman, or I'm totally making that up, but
probably it's near the Batman River. I mean, it's probably a Turkish word. Oh, they have a Batman University there. How awesome would that be to graduate from Batman?
I go to UB.
Yeah, I majored in Batmobile engineering.
Imagine being a mechanical engineer for the Batmobile. All right, today we're attaching the flamethrowers.
All right, should we do the next one?
Yeah.
I don't know about this spinny wheel anymore, but we'll keep doing it for now.
I'm into it.
All right, we have Hell, Norway.
Okay.
All right, this was one of my selections.
Okay, rigged.
This is great because you can actually say hell has frozen over because it literally happens every winter, right? This thing is in Norway. It's up in the Arctic, part of the world. So hell literally freezes over. So it's not just like when people say, oh yeah, when hell freezes over, because it actually happens every year here.
Wow, Steve, there's also I don't know if there's sister cities, but there's a Hell, Michigan. So I don't know if they kind of get together ever. Like, that was actually one of the ones I saw when I was researching.
Dude, they've got to be sister cities. Okay, it's known for its unique name and association with the concept of hell, but actually originates from Old Norse, which it's from the word hellir, which means overhang or cliff cave. So not that interesting.
Does that mean, like, if you ever ride a motorcycle in Hell, Norway, you're part of the Hells Angels?
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah. During the 1990 Miss Universe competition, there was a contestant from Hell, and she listed herself as the beauty queen from Hell. So that's pretty cool.
That is badass. Now, there needs to be a Hell in a really hot spot, like right on the equator or something,
Yeah. This one's like really ironic because it's cold.
Yeah.
Although back in the day, like the first depiction of hell like was cold.
I don't remember
Dante's Inferno. He has like 7 layers of hell, and like one of them is actually really cold. So there's a little history lesson for you guys. Literature lesson.
That sucks because I hate being cold. I would probably prefer the heat if I was going to hell.
If I'm going to hell, I'll go to the hot one. I don't want to be cold.
Yeah, that would be cold forever.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Would you rather be cold forever or hot forever? I don't know.
I'm literally a nomad, so I could be hot forever.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Woo!
This is a good one. Dildo, Canada. I think we've also both had this one. Is that right?
Yeah, that is. Wow, we're both mature.
All right, this one is in Newfoundland, Canada, which is a province in Canada, which they actually pronounce Newfoundland. But it's spelled like Newfoundland. Jack, what do you got on this one?
I think it's pretty cool. They have a local celebrity. His name is Captain Dildo.
Okay.
And I don't know, like, I'm just kind of curious, like, what do you think, like, why is he named? I would, okay, is it a woman or a guy? Captain Dildo. What do you think? I don't know. I'm just trying to make this up, right? Like, I feel like it's almost a girl name.
How is that a girl name?
Well, because
Girls use dildos?
Yeah, like, if I was a guy, I don't want to be called Captain Dildo. I'd rather be called, like, Captain Dick or something, like.
True, yeah. If you're Captain Dildo, that's like, if you're a guy, that's almost like a diss, like, what's up, Captain Dildo? And you're just like trying to shit on someone.
Yeah, like, wait, why do you have like a dildo? Like, which is fine, obviously. It's just, be careful.
He's kind of their official town mascot or unofficial town mascot, so that's cool.
Yeah, and they have Dildo Days, which is like an annual festival led by this guy, Captain Dildo.
Hell yeah, dude. Shout out Captain Dildo. My fun fact is that Jimmy Kimmel, we all know the late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel, he actually launched a satirical campaign to become mayor in 2019, which there is no actual mayor, so that's why it was kind of a joke. Maybe Captain Dildo is their unofficial mayor. But yeah, Jimmy Kimmel kind of ran for mayor. His sidekick Guillermo went there to campaign and had all these signs. It was like Jimmy Kimmel for mayor of Dildo.
Wow, I wonder what his talking points were.
The locals there actually embraced it, and they called it like the Dildo Task Force. So they were trying to help him kind of campaign. And yeah, I guess it was a pretty peak late night TV thing that they did. I was too busy watching Netflix, of course, because I don't watch live TV, but I'm sure it was really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, I wonder, like, on, how on Thanksgiving, we give out like frozen turkeys. Like, I wonder if they do something with dildos in that they just give out dildos like for the holidays.
Yeah. I'm sure that they do. I think that'd be a nice gift. You could do some Christmas colors, red and green dildos for everyone.
Like peppermint, like, would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, like a candy cane dildo. That's perfect.
Yeah. Maybe flavored. I don't know if people like care about if their dildo's flavored or not.
Some people might if they're trying to practice that sort of thing, work on their skills. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Next thing on our wheel.
Okay.
We got Muffin Butte, Utah. Could be pronounced Muffin Butt. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jack, this was yours. What do you got?
All right, so like this was like my that I slotted in where I was like trying not to be like so vulgar, with my names. But I think this one's just kind of funny. Like it kind of reminds like Muffin Top or like Muffin Butt. It just kind of is funny to say. It's like a quirky name, like Muffin Butte.
It is fun. Yeah, the word muffin is funny. You also got muff diving, so that like muff can actually be an inappropriate word too, but it could also be just silly.
Or in this case, it's probably more like muff climbing, like you're climbing the muff.
Makes sense, because a butte is like a mountain, right, or a peak,
right?
So I'm assuming they have a mountain that's shaped like a muffin, kind of like Crested Butte in Colorado, right?
Yeah. So the official is a butte is like a mountain or a hill, but it's very steep. It's like abnormally steep. So remember Crested Butte was like, it was like dramatic cliffs, in my opinion. I think it's really cool. And then Muffin is because on top, the formation kind of looks like a muffin. So it's like a steep muffin, That's
hilarious. Okay, that's an awesome name. I kind of want to look up what it looks like now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, that's pretty muffin-like, I'd say.
And that kind of looks like Utah. I mean, we've been to Arches and stuff. They got stuff like that. It looks like the moon. Yeah,
it does. Yeah. Cool. That's a nice muffin. What flavor do you think that would be of muffins?
That one looks like cinnamon.
Good call. I can't even argue with that. Yeah, it's a cinnamon muffin for sure.
Not that I've had a cinnamon in a while. I'm more of like a chocolate muffin guy. Because, if you're eating a muffin, it's like, okay, I'm about to eat like a ton of sugar and carbs. I'm not going to just like try to get a healthy one. I might as well just all in it,
I actually really like the banana muffins.
Ooh, yeah.
I just like banana bread. They're usually banana nut, which I'd rather just not have the nuts. So I usually pick those off the top and then just crush the fluffy banana flavor.
You pick it off?
Yeah, dude. I like muffins to me are supposed to be soft. I don't want like hard stuff in there. I don't like the nuts.
Wow, Steve. I mean, it's fine that you do that, but I just never would have picked you as a guy to pick off stuff off your food before eating. Like I figured you just no discrimination. It's going in your mouth.
Yeah. It's kind of like what you said about you don't want your muffin to be healthy or anything. Like I just want straight carbs if I'm going to do a muffin.
Yeah, okay, wow. And is there any other foods that you pick off like that, or is that like a
No, that's about it. I also don't like nuts in my like Asian food. Like sometimes like Thai food will have peanuts in it. Same thing. I'm like, this just doesn't go with the vibe. I don't want these hard things in there. But
dude?
other
Yeah,
than that, no.
dude, that is the one thing. Like, I think it's pad Thai that has that peanut flavor, and I don't like that flavor. I think it's
I don't
not
either.
as good. I want like the spice chili flavor.
I always get the spicy. Yeah, if there's a peanut sauce option, I usually don't do that one. So let's move on to our next spinny wheel. All right, here we go. Round and round we go. Wheel of Fortune. Shout out to my mom and her game shows. All right, this is one of my selections. This is Cumming, Georgia. You might think, oh, Cumming, that's probably spelled with an O, right? No, it is literally spelled with a U. It is spelled the funny way. Cumming, Georgia. This is in the United States. It's not in the country of Georgia that we've talked about before. This is a great place because I've actually met like people from here. A guy in my fraternity in college was literally from Cumming, Georgia. We have our friends, Lamry and Bachman. They're from Atlanta area, but they know all about Cumming, so they've told me about it. Like there's a pizza place, and like their slogan is like the best pizza to eat in the middle of Cumming.
That's good. That's good.
But it's located just outside of Atlanta, like might be a suburb or something. But yeah, it's been the center of many memes, thanks to the obvious joke. And yeah, a lot of the local businesses will do stuff like that. We love to eat out in Cumming, or love to eat out while we're coming and stuff like that. So yeah, the internet didn't stand a chance with this one.
So how did it sort of come to be, would you say?
How did it come to be? That's funny.
I just had to say it.
The town was said to be named for William Cumming, a notable figure in the War of 1812.
So his name is literally Will Come.
Yeah, Will Come. You hear about when the baby whale was talking to his dad?
No.
And he's like, Dad, where did I come from? Like, how was I born? Like how are babies made?
Mm-hmm.
And his dad explained kind of the birds and the bees situation, like how babies are made.
Mm-hmm.
And after the father whale explained it to his son goes, thanks for telling me about that, Dad. Like, thanks for explaining that. And the dad goes, sure, your whale come.
That's cool that whales are relatable. They come just like us. Like, because aren't they mammals or something? Or am I an idiot for saying that?
They are. They're totally mammals. They totally
Okay.
come. And yeah, they have babies just like us, just underwater.
I just feel like I don't want to sound like a little bit of like a square, but it's just like, you don't think they've ever been like, I think we should probably change the name. Like, we got kids growing up here, we're like in the 21st century, like maybe we should change it up.
Yeah,
You don't ever think they think about that? Like, is this William Cumming guy? Like, what did he do?
Honestly, I bet if you looked him up now, he was probably like a slave owner and did like horrible things. You know? Like they're changing names of places based on that these days. I feel like Cumming is a good enough reason.
Yeah, like we have the Redskins football team or the Indians baseball team. Like we had to change those, but we're not changing Cumming, Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, if fucking changed to fugging, I feel like Cumming is just as bad, if not worse. It's almost like more vulgar in a way. Like I think about way more fucked up shit when I hear Cumming than when I hear fucking.
Yeah, in terms of the words that we can't say so that your mom will share our podcast, I would literally put Cumming as probably the one we shouldn't ever say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit and fuck, like, it's okay. Like, we're all adults here.
Yeah,
but Cumming is like,
common.
Why am I thinking about that right now,
Yeah, that's a bad word. Yeah, because there's a really like a very specific act that goes with it. Like it's, yeah.
Yeah, if you really broke it down, like it's just really, it's a personal thing. Well, it's so funny, right? Because it's in Georgia, right? Which in my opinion is like sort of like Bible-y.
Yeah.
like we love Jesus, which is a great thing. But like, and then to have the name Cumming, it's like Cumming should be a city in Florida.
Yes, it should
You
be.
know?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Georgia's like too proper, too Christian to be fucking around with Cumming.
Yeah, like we got the Southern hospitality, but we're just nutting everywhere. Like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Man, well, I'm glad it's still there because we can talk about it and there's plenty of jokes that can be made. I'm sure I've heard that the Google reviews of restaurants and stuff are just all hilarious there. So that's great. I'm glad we can do that.
Yeah, like, oh wow, I had to send my eggs back. They only gave me egg whites. I don't know why. Like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Like, just like fake reviews.
Yeah, the milk I bought from the grocery store in Cumming was spoiled and it was chunky and it looked
It was
a little
salty.
suspect. Yeah, it was. All right. Any other jokes on that one?
No, I think we'll probably revisit it, but I think I got some of it out.
All right, that's
No pun
good.
intended.
Damn it. Okay, let's get our next spin. Okay, we're gonna go with Intercourse, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
because we both had that one, and yeah, it's again a good old American city. What do you have to say about this one, Jack?
I think it's really funny that it's like an Amish town.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I'm pretty sure Amish people are pretty into having a lot of kids. So I think that if you're an Amish family and you're living in Intercourse, I think you're probably doing the name justice.
Yeah, Amish people love Intercourse. That's so true. Yeah, so Pennsylvania does have a lot of Amish, Quaker country. I think those are related. The name comes from a now archaic use of intercourse, which means fellowship or social interaction. Oh, interesting. I would have thought it was like streets or something, like they intersect intercourse or something, but no. It just means social interaction, which I love how we've evolved that now. Instead of being like a friendly social interaction, it's become something more intimate.
Right. Still a social interaction, though. So really the word is still relevant. It's just not as tame.
Yeah, that's true. And then, yeah, so the town's name paired with its Amish roots means it sells a lot of ironic T-shirts.
Does that mean like they don't like have like T-shirts that say I've been to Intercourse or something like that?
Yeah, probably not. It's probably just like Intercourse, Pennsylvania, but they probably sell a shit ton of those because they're hilarious. But the Amish people just think it's like a serious shirt. They're like, oh, people must really love our town.
That's good. Good for them. I mean, way to stick with your guns. Look, we're going to be serious. You know, we're a serious family rearing place, but you're from Intercourse, literally. In multiple different ways, you're from Intercourse.
True. Just like the whale cum.
Yeah.
What did you have on this one, Jack? Any notes?
Similar things about the fellowship and social interaction. And I guess it's one of the cities, if you want to take like a tour of Amish towns in Pennsylvania, it's one of the highlights, as it is in any situation. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'd love to take a course or take a tour and see all of Intercourse. I want to see the entirety of Intercourse from start to finish.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see how long you last when you're going through it, but like, cut that out.
No way. That was good. That was hilarious. I'm keeping that forever. All right. Should we do our next one? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. We got Cuck, Estonia. Jack,
Steve's
I
like,
love
all
it.
right,
I
this is
love
my
this
city. Steve's like, I love this city.
Damn it. I've really been enjoying the word cuck recently. It's a lot of fun to say, but yeah, Jack, this was yours. Let's hear about it.
Well, I mean, it stuck out to me, obviously, when I was researching names. Now, it means rooster in Estonian, which
Kinda
is
like
interesting.
cock.
Right. Now, this is the thing. I don't actually know if it's pronounced cuck or cock.
Mhm.
Okay, so if it's pronounced cock, then the rooster thing really plays in really well.
Yeah.
You know, if it's pronounced cuck, I think we're still having fun, as they say.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've already had a lot of fun with the word cock today, so we'll assume cuck.
Yeah.
Which has become a big word, I'd say, recently. With cuck chairs. There's a lot of viral memes. Like if there's a little chair in the corner of your hotel room, they're like, "Oh yeah, there's the cuck chair."
Also, it's funny. I think the extended name of this is Kuka, which still sounds cool. Like,
yeah.
And it's like a little village on an island. Like Estonia has like some islands, and it's a village on this island here where all the cucks live. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you live there, you can be like, "I'm a cuck. I'm a proud cuck. I'm a cuck citizen." It's great.
Just don't go there on like a big holiday. Like you might not have a hotel room. You might get cucked. Like you might not like find a place.
So yeah, the word cuck is fun. I've been saying it, just for like anytime someone wrongs me, like they cut me off while driving, I'm like, "Oh, I just got cucked." There's a lot of good uses for it besides like kind of the sexual or whatever you think it is. If you don't know what a cuck is, it comes from the word cuckold, and you can just look that up and see what it means.
Yeah, and so Steve, I was thinking like when I was making the list, I was like, okay, which cities would be like go together, right? And I was thinking that like cuck and dildo might be like a good sister combo, like because it's like the cuck might use the like because it's got nothing to do, right? So like you might like maybe you'll use the dildo, and so I was thinking that could be good for them.
Yeah, that is a really good 1-2 punch there with the cuck and the dildo. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely not fucking and cuck. They shouldn't be sister cities.
Definitely not. That doesn't make sense. If you're a cuck, you're not fucking. That's for sure. Okay. All right. Yeah, I should have been just clicking away from these from the beginning. Now I'm just removing the ones that we've already said. So. All right, next we have Tittybong, Australia. Tittybong. So it is a rural area in Victoria with a population close to 0, unfortunately. So we can't joke about what it would be like to live in Tittybong or the citizens because it sounds like not a lot of people even live there. The name allegedly comes from an Aboriginal word, but no one's really sure. But still, the Australian Tourism Board refuses to promote it because they are cowards, which makes sense, dude. I just saw this viral thing on Instagram the other day about there's like 300 names in Australia that it's illegal to name your kid. It's a lot of like bad words. There's also like racist words, like you can't name your kid Adolf Hitler, stuff like that. But also you can't name him fucking, or probably can't name him Tittybong, I would guess.
Wait, so does the US or any countries like that have similar laws? I've never really thought about that.
I don't think so. I think it's just an Australian thing. I think the US, we have more freedom, so we can name our kids whatever we want. If you want them to be named Boner Biter or Donkey Dick, like you could name your kid that.
Isn't that crazy though? Because you would think you wouldn't need a law for this because it would sort of be like a self-policing thing. Like if I'm having a kid, wow, my firstborn kid, wow, I am just, I look at him, oh my God, I see myself. I'm not going to name him like fuckhead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's probably going to be like Jerry or something. Like,
yeah, unless he like looks like a douche or a fuckhead, you're like, yeah, he looks like a little douche. I'm going to name him that. Little douche.
Yeah, douche comma bag or something. Like, but like that's just the weird part for me, right? Like, I don't know people actually get bad names like that? Like, I'm gonna spite my kid. Let's start him off on the wrong foot. Dude,
I don't know. Yeah, like why did that law need to come into place? They're like, yeah, we got too many people naming their kid fuckface and titty fuck and stuff. So we gotta create this law.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, that's weird. Like. Yeah, let's name my kid Adolf Hitler. Like, that sounds like one of the worst ideas you could ever have. You might as well just gotten an abortion or something. Like, why are you even having the kid? Like, give it up for adoption. Like,
some of the other band names: Jesus Christ, Mafia, Judge, Lady. That's kind of fucked. I know a girl named Lady.
No, that's her real name?
These are all big. Yeah, well, yeah. There's just an E on the end of it. It's like, yeah. Monkey, Nazi, Mister. I guess that would just get confusing. Like, hey, Mister, and then everyone looks,
Steve, Messiah. You know what this
Yeah.
reminds me of? Is that bar in Denver where every day of the month, if it's your name, you get free drinks.
Yes, that's a great spot.
Yeah, and like imagine if it was like with shitty names like this, like Adolf Hitler drinks for free every every 20th day, you know, like
Yeah, Satan drinks for free. Scrotum. Shithead is on here. Smelly. Snort. Terrorist. Yeah, that'd be a bad one. Hey, terrorist, come over here.
yeah, you're definitely getting randomly checked at the airport every time.
Yeah. Your name's literally terrorist. Marijuana, that's funny. I do know someone named Marijuana as well.
Wait, what?
I think
Wait,
I sent
no
it.
way.
I think I sent it to you. She reached out to me on LinkedIn, like trying to sell me something. And I think she was from, I want to say Estonia or like some country like that. Or no, it was North Macedonia, I think is what it was. And her name was literally Marijuana, spelled exactly that way.
Did she get it? Or like, what do you think? Like, she must know, right?
I'm sure she knows at this point.
Like, maybe you could go by Mary.
You could. Or Osama bin Laden. Sorry, this is a really funny list of band names, but I don't see Titty on here, so.
That's how you know you're a fucked up person. You make it on the band name list of
Yeah.
Australia. Like, that's when you know you didn't do that well in life.
They're like, you're the last one. Like, we're not going to let any more kids be named terrorist. Like,
In a fucked up way, it's like getting your jersey retired in professional sports.
it do be like that. It do be. Okay. Next one.
Yeah.
Am I sharing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. We got Climax, Michigan. Jack, this was you.
Yeah, so this one I thought was kind of funny, you know, got to use your imagination a little more, not right out there. And it got its name because the settlers who originally settled this town, it was like the climax of their journey. They're like, we made it, we did it, like this is Mecca for us. We've reached our peak. And so that's why it's called that.
Nice. The Climax. Yeah, okay. That's great. I wonder if the Intercourse people kind of had the same thing. They're like, we've made it to Intercourse. This is our climax.
And it's also, there's also hell in Michigan too. So it's like, oh, we came from hell and we're climaxing. Yeah, we need to like set these people up. We're like the matchmaker for cities.
Yeah, I would love to go to Climax.
I don't know if I would, Steve, because once you go there, you kind of
You're
like
done.
that's it. Yeah, you
over.
climaxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to Kansas.
You've reached the peak. You know, it's never going to get any better than this. So yeah, you might as well go back to hell at that point. What else, Jack, about Climax?
That's all I know.
All right, we're going to go with Anus, France.
So it's a Latin word that I don't know what it means, but it's a small town in Burgundy. And my thing is, what I would like to do is I want to hear a French person pronounce this city, because they got no offense, you guys got some, you got some funny accents.
And honestly, dude, there's so many French words when I see it, like the way I think it's pronounced sounds absolutely nothing like the way a French person says. Like, it sounds like we're saying two completely different words. So I'm sure this one, we say anus, I'm sure they'd say like anule, like it's completely different.
And the funniest part is, I would say at a lot of places I've traveled, French people don't really want to learn another language other than French. So maybe they don't even know that this is like a funny name. They got no idea. Like,
we only got a few left. Okay. We have another French town. This is Condom, France. Of course, who could forget the iconic town of Condom, France?
Steve, I know you put this on there, but like, what are you talking about?
You've never heard of condoms?
No. What is that?
A condom, Jack. So some people practice what's called safe sex. Okay. And so they'll put this like diaper on their penis so that I could actually explain this whole thing using the town names that we've already said.
Okay. Let's do this. Yeah.
So if you're having intercourse, okay, Jack.
Okay.
Not with titties though. Okay. If you're doing a tittybong or a titty bang, you don't need a condom. Okay.
Okay.
But if you're having intercourse and you're about to climax,
okay,
and then you start coming, The condom will actually block your cum from like impregnating the woman that you're coming into. Okay.
Okay.
That
Okay.
you're fugging.
Okay. So do you need this with dildos or not?
Not with dildos. Dildos can
Okay.
be condom free. It's really just for when you're doing a Bangkok. Okay.
Mm.
A cuck would not need a condom either, usually. Another thing is if it's anus, you probably don't need it. Well, to protect from diseases, you might need it in the anus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you're going muff diving, definitely always use a condom.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
For some
Okay.
things.
Wow. Okay. You almost hit every single one there. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I tried. Okay, so condom. So this is a charming town in southwest France. It's actually named after the Latin word condatomagus. Okay, so not the latex kind that I just explained to you. But despite its name, the town does lean into the innuendo. They actually used to have a condom museum that was kind of a quirky tourist trap, which is now closed because you could have learned the history of condoms, but that's fine. I already just kind of explained to you how it works, so you don't need a museum.
Dude, that's crazy to me. Like, it's like I'm a tennis player, right? And I think about like the first tennis rackets that were ever made. They were just like these shitty wooden ones. And I wonder what the first condom was like. I wonder how shitty the first condom ever invented was.
I mean, some people are allergic to latex, right? So I know they make animal skin condoms. But yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, maybe the first ones were made out of like leaves or something, a banana leaf, banana nut muffin, that kind of thing.
Do you think before condoms were invented, people knew that they needed to pull out?
I don't know. I don't
like,
know if
what
sex
came
education...
first? The guy figuring out, hey, if I pull out, I won't have a kid, or condoms? Like, I would assume it was like, hey, all right, now we're all kind of pulling out, but we hate it. We need to invent something.
Yeah, we need to come up with a workaround for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure pulling out came before condoms. That would make sense.
Okay. All right. Your mom, this is a really bad episode for your mom. This one's the worst one.
Yeah. This one's good. Boring Oregon. Okay. This is chill. This one's not too dirty, I would say. Not at all. So Boring Oregon, it's fun fact, its twin city is Dole, Scotland. So that's kind of fun. And then Bland, Australia. So lots of boring city names. So they actually made an international alliance for their underwhelming town names. So that's fun.
That's interesting. I wonder what they do there. Probably not much.
Yeah, probably not a whole lot. Yeah, I've been to Oregon. I think I had fun there. My sister lives there. I'm going back for her wedding later this year.
Oh, congratulations.
But that's in Portland, aka Snortland. Not super boring, I'd say. People definitely have their opinions on Portland, but I don't think you can call it boring. That's for damn sure. But yeah, talk about a boring city name, quite literally.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of bored of this one anyway. Like, let's fucking move on.
Yeah.
All right, our last one, we don't even need to spin the wheel for. This is Poo, Spain.
So this is all we're left with.
Yeah,
very
baby.
Fitting. Wow.
It's all you.
All right. Well, it's a small village, northern Spain, and it's pronounced Po. Okay, but it's spelled poo, and Americans love saying it the American way. So we're going to stick with poo. And it's known for beautiful hiking trails and beaches. So it doesn't sound like too shitty to me. It sounds pretty good.
What if you're on one of the beautiful hiking trails and you step in poo?
I don't know. You think they got a word for that?
What's the Spanish word for poop, Jack? You would know.
Well, shit is mierda.
Oh, nice.
So that's what you would probably step in,
It's a beautiful word. Like, it makes it sound so much better than I stepped in poop or shit. Like, oh, I stepped in mierda. Like, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, it can work. Again, though, I'm more of a single syllable guy. Like, I don't really expand my vocabulary beyond single syllable words. So
yeah, especially with curse words, swear words, fuck, shit, cock. It just hits so much better with the one syllable.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Great. What else you got anything else about poo?
No. At this point,
All right. Well, let's wind down. Just want to say thank you to everyone for listening. Sorry if my mom's friends listened to this episode. This one was like we were saying, extra naughty. But yeah, if you like this episode, please rate us on Spotify, Apple, whatever you're listening on, YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating. Make sure to follow us as well on all the platforms at Nomads No Worries Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever else is out there.
Hell yeah. This was a really interesting episode.
Everyone, have a great day and
take a weird trip.